Hey guys, Jeremy here from School of Wok Covent Garden. Now this series is all about tofu. One of those things that perhaps some people don't like or say they don't like, but for me, it's actually not knowing how to cook with it or deal with it. We're working with Tofoo, brilliant brand, great friends of ours, and this series is all about how to use tofu properly. So this week's Saturday special is a chili and hoisin stir-fried tofu from our lovely friends Tofoo over here. Really simple, quick wok lock, and onto the wokking. So I'm going to start with my base ingredients. I've got some onions and spring onion, a little bit of garlic and ginger chopped up over here already. Quite a large onion that, so I'm just going to use half here. So half an onion or a small onion is absolutely fine. Go for nice slices of onion. That's going to go at 12 o'clock on my wok clock next to my ginger and garlic. People have been giving suggestions as to how to make myself stop crying. I think I will one day just do all of your suggestions. There's been goggles, there's been biting bread, there's been, oh my gosh, you name it, we've had the suggestions. I don't think any of them work. So, a bit of spring onion. I'm going to use a bit of spring onion for the base of the stir fry. And I'm going to go to sort of 1 to 2 centimetre chunks of spring onion. And that's going to go along with my ginger and garlic. A bit of chilli to go with that chili bean sauce that's going to make up the sort of spice of the stir fry sauce. The red chili here, I want it to fry into the stir fry, so I'm going to go for nice chunks again. And you can see I'm compiling my wok clock of ingredients here. 12 o'clock with my onion, my ginger and garlic, that's just been finely sliced, and then my spring onion, some chili. Tomato, just to add a bit of sort of natural savoury flavour, but again this is a massive tomato, so I'm going to go for half of that. And I want this in sort of wedges or chunks, so looking so colourful and beautiful already. All I've got left is the tofu. So I've got the naked tofu here, which is essentially an original organic firm tofu. And with this dish, I want sort of chunky bite-sized pieces. I want to be able to pack the sauce into this. It's kind of like a sweet, spicy, savoury sauce. So I'm going to go for sort of nice size squares of tofu. And the first thing I'm going to do before I start to stir fry anything else is sort of crisp up the tofu in the wok. But I want to marinate this. You don't have to press this tofu. That's why I love this brand. So we've got your tofu chunks, and I'm going to quickly marinate it in a classic Chinese marinade. Light soy sauce, sesame oil, and a pinch of sugar. 1 to 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce. About a teaspoon of sesame oil. And a chef's pinch of sugar. Give that a gentle sort of rub round, and that will give the tofu a base flavour, because some people can see or find tofu a little bit bland, but it's all about packing in flavour to the tofu. So that's lightly dressed there, ready to go. I'm actually going to go 12 o'clock with my tofu and then start to hit the onions and go round that clock. All I've got to do now is make up a quick stir fry sauce, and then we'll get wokking. So the sauce, now I've got a little bit of light soy sauce left over, about a tablespoon, well, probably about half a tablespoon there of light soy sauce. I'm going to use this same bowl to sort of compile my sauce. Chili bean sauce, roughly a teaspoon. That's basically like a fermented broad bean and chili paste. And then to go with that saltiness, I've got a good tablespoon of hoisin sauce. And that will sweeten the whole thing up, and that will just work with the tofu so brilliantly. I'm going to just thin this sauce out now so it can really sort of bubble through into the tofu. So I've got some Shaoxing rice wine. What you want with a stir fry sauce is for it to be liquid enough to sort of cook through whatever you're stir frying, but also sort of caramelized enough so it wraps around your ingredients. So I'm going to put a little bit of dark soy sauce to help caramelize, but also just to sort of deepen the color of the stir fry. Last but not least, either some stock or some water. And again, that's just to allow enough sauce to sort of bubble through nice and vigorously. All sorted, ready to go. You can kind of see that dripping consistency there. Wok clock ready, sauce ready. Let's get woking. A little bit of oil. When you're layering your tofu into the wok, don't just pour the whole bowl in, because there is a bit of liquid marinade left at the bottom there. We don't want to pour all that liquid into the wok straight away. Just let that sit in nicely. Just going to turn that heat down to sort of medium to high heat rather than too high at the beginning. I don't mind as well to sort of press into the tofu as it's pan frying and crisping up on one side. Now, at this point, we want to start to carefully turn the tofu, and you can see that I'm getting a nice sort of crisp edge on the pieces of tofu. Whoa, look at that. Depending on the space in your wok, you can either leave the tofu in there or you can dish it out. I'm going to dish it out just to give myself more space to finish off the stir fry. I've got enough oil in the wok ready to start around my wok clock again. 12 o'clock with my onions, wok's smoking hot, onions in. Just break those up nicely, start to fold them around. So I'm just pushing those to the back, allowing space for my next ingredient. A little bit of oil at this point because my onions have taken up that oil now. I'm going to get my garlic and ginger in, straight into that oil. My spring onions coming in together with that. And then I'm going to fold those onions over the top and flick that through. Woo! Yeah, now we're smoking. And I'm just giving it a couple of tosses through just to make sure that excess smoke comes out of the wok. Tummy in the head, tummy in the head, tummy in the head, tummy in the head. Again, just moving that wok's air around. Push that to the back to allow space for your next ingredient. Still on a high heat here, guys. A little bit more oil. My chilies and tomatoes are coming in. Chilies in, tomatoes on top. Let that smoke up for about 20 seconds or so, just so you can make sure that the camera guys all choke up, right? And then flick that through. Again, that tomato and the, woohoo, and myself. The juices from the tomatoes are going to start to sort of create their own sauce with that garlic and chili and ginger in a second. Back onto a high heat. I'm going to bring my tofu back into the stir fry now. I want this wok to be smoking hot as it is, and then I'm going to pour my sauce all the way around and over the tofu. Yeah. And you can see here now, I'm just gently folding the tofu round the vigorously bubbling sauce. I'm folding from the bottom just so that the tofu doesn't break up. And once you've got to a point where you've just got a little bit of sauce left, take it off the heat. That is ready to serve. So this dish is so colourful. Doesn't need any garnish at all. The tomatoes just sort of melted in some ways, kept whole in others. Get all that flavour over the top there. So there you have it. Your chili hoisin stir-fried tofu. Good piece of that tofu. Sweet, savoury, slight spice but not too hot. Absolutely delicious, perfect balance. If you like this recipe and you want to learn more, follow our series or don't forget to subscribe to our channel.